Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid June 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Virgos in early to mid-June? It is Gemini season at the time of this filming. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo in early to mid-June. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. Have a little bit of fun here, my good friends. There we go. Cool. Yeah, very dreamy and etheric, and I've been seeing this for the earth signs, especially with the leadoff card. And this one did show up, I think, for an air sign as well. But I do like it. It's like super dreamy and imaginative and very creative. It reminds me of the Seven of Cups, if you know anything about the tarot card. So there's a lot of good stuff here. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lovely lady here wearing a mask and a purple dress. There's all sorts of hot air balloons in the background, some sort of nonsensical imagery going on here. So it does have that etheric, imaginative, creative vibe to it, which I really love. Now, for some of you, this could be great for ideas and brainstorming. You might get those creative juices flowing when this is here, which I think is really fantastic. And similar to the Seven of Cups, this to me is representative of a lot of options and paths forward. So regardless of what it is you're working through or dealing with, even if things don't even seem like much is going on, this energy is good because it's like the menu board of life. There's a lot of stuff spread out in front of me, infinite possibilities, and that's something I always get excited about. Now, for some of you, it can be a little daydreamy, so your head might be in the clouds a little bit when this is here. Might be doing a lot of daydreaming and fantasizing, or someone might be. There could be some interesting energy surrounding your dreams as well, so I'd pay attention, maybe jot down important things that show up in dreams when this card leads off. So the good thing about it, it's very creative. Lots of paths forward, menu board of life type of energy. The only downside is it could be a little too in its head. So we're just going to let her chill right there. She could keep doing whatever it is she's doing. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Virgos. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So there was a lot of fire energy in your reading last week, and the reading was titled An Explosive Change. Now, I always say life is about perpetual change. Things are always changing in different ways, sometimes slower, sometimes faster. But the big thing I picked up last week was like a potential like paradigm shift or something doing a 180. So whether it was your feelings or opinions on something, whether it was a situation in and of itself, that energetic potential is still there moving forward for something to do an about face, which can serve you, or it could be a little uncomfortable depending on what's going on. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my beautiful Virgo friends. What do we got? There we go. Cool. Yeah, so that intense energy is still afoot, my friends. We got Judgment in position number 1. Now, I do like Judgment. It does start us off with a bang, that's for sure. This is a super intense type of energy. Let's get a couple more out here. I'll piece this all together. Why is Judgment here? Queen of Swords. Like, she's been showing up in the Earth sign readings as well. Usually like this Queen of Swords. I mean, she is not really messing around. Super strategic type of energy. And we'll get into her further. Let's get one more. What do we got for Virgo? 4 of Cups. So yeah, I said 7 of Cups with that Oracle card, but as you can see, this person, there's a lot of similarities between the 7 and the 4. So yeah, there is a lot of mental focus, a lot of internal energy showing up here. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that paints a picture for us. It frames the reading. It tells us how comfortable you might be or the areas that it's focused on. Now, the main part of the elements with the water and air, that's all internal energy. So there's a big inward looking focus. Judgment in and of itself, I like to give it like Plutonian type of energy, which is that change shift based type of vibe. So we're going to leave this out of the equation for now. It's just a major arcana, which is a powerful energetic theme. But when it comes to air, that's very logical, very pragmatic. It's strategic, it's planned out. What you see is what you get. The facts, the cold, hard facts. Air could be about giving or receiving information. So whether you're giving it or receiving it or looking for it, that's what this is. Air is huge when it comes to the realm of communication, how we speak to others, how others speak to us. Um, the downside to air is that, again, it could be overthinky because remember, it rules the mindset. So it's like something over and over and over. There's something on my mind. But air can also be very cold, very detached. It's an energy that could be a little mean or sharp with its tongue, so we want to watch out for that as well. But then we move over here to the cups, the water, and that does somewhat soften the energy, right? Because whereas this one's the mind, this is the heart. So it's like we have the heart and mind dynamic rolling through here. Now, when it comes to cups, that is much more emotional, matters of the heart, things, people, situations that we're emotionally invested in. Your emotional stability in general, partnerships rule over with the cups. The creativity, the expressiveness, the imagination, all those juices flowing, that's all about the cups. So there's a lot of goodness there. The only downside to cups is that the energy is always waxing and waning. It's up, it's down. And sometimes water energy could be very overwhelming. So we need to watch out for internal or emotional overwhelm. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with a bang, right? We have judgment right here, still holding over some of that energy we had from last week. And we see the Archangel Gabriel, the messenger of the creator, right there blowing that trumpet, and the dead rising. Now, to me, I already mentioned it. This is a huge card of shifting energy and change, and it's powerful, it's explosive, and it's, again, starting with a bang. There are similarities to the tower here. Now, judgment, again, it's not necessarily bad. Maybe some of you are making a literal judgment or a decision. How do I move forward with something? That's very possible here. But this is an action card, that's for sure, right? When that trumpet blows, things happen. So we want to see, is this an action you're taking? Is it an action someone else is taking? I'm very curious to see how this shows up. Now, judgment, again, it could also be karmic. It could speak about the certain cycles, the metamorphosis we go through, our life's journey. So we do want to look into the judgment card a little further. Sometimes it could even represent things popping back up. Or things returning, right? When we see the dead rising. So that's something to keep an eye on. I've been seeing that for a few signs in recent weeks as well, where there's like certain things that are popping back up or being revisited. So we'll take a look at that when we get to judgment, that's for sure. The only downside to it is that it could be a little too intense. It could be a little too rapid. It's just very fiery and fast. Now, moving to the center, we have the beautiful Queen of Swords, big air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And even if you're not dealing with one, and remember, it's not gender specific, queens represent the internal aspect of the suit. We spoke a lot about the air and the swords. So to me, the Queen of Swords, the thing I love about her is her honesty. She is extremely smart, extremely intelligent, straightforward to the point. What you see is what you get. No fluff, no frills. Like, she's going to tell you what it is. And that's the one thing I really like about this card. Very strategic, and again, extremely intelligent. You might have a certain thirst for knowledge and information in this time, so you might feel like you're seeking or uncovering things. So that's a good thing with the Queen of Swords. The downside to her, sometimes she could be a little angry. Sometimes she could be a little mean. Sometimes she's very quick to cut certain things away. The Queen of Swords could sometimes show up when things are either serious or need to be taken seriously. So we're going to keep an eye on her. And she does rule heavily over the mindset and perception. Now, moving to the back end, more on mindset, we have the Four of Cups. And we see this little individual, the lady sitting underneath the tree. She's having herself a little nap, a little snooze. So again, maybe some of you are feeling a little tired, a little zapped. Maybe there was something around like sleep or lack thereof, depending on what you're going through. But notice, there's three cups in front of her, and the universe is handing her another. So I love this for options, paths, and choices, where it's like, okay, there might be more ahead than you might think, or there might be more options or choices than you might think. That's a good thing with this card. Huge for manifestation as well. But the downside to the Four Cups, I'm sure you could guess it, it is very cerebral. It is someone that gets analysis paralysis or thinks too much and doesn't implement action. So it's like we kind of have the reverse, where it's like we have the action first, then we have the thinking about it. If it was reversed, then this energy would feel a little bit more comfortable, where it's like think, plan, act. This is like act, plan, think. It's like reverse for some reason. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Virgo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on judgment. Let's see what that has. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is judgment here? What's going on? What is happening? Thank you. Cool. Lovers. Cool. Very, very angelic type of energy here. So that's the first thing I'm going to say for a lot of Virgos is like the spiritual protection, spiritual guardians that I'm seeing around you. Because obviously, you know, the lovers, we're going to get into all the partnership type of stuff and potential meanings of these cards. But when I see two archangels leading us off, that's heavy spiritual shielding, heavy spiritual protection, more so than you might realize. So I think that's a beautiful thing. I feel insulated with this first alignment. Now, the good thing about this, because remember, I was saying judgment itself could be very intense, fast, explosive type of action like we were seeing last week. When I see the lovers with the Archangel Raphael, the Adam and Eve symbolism, I always say this is an easy flowing, easy going type of energy, which I think is really beautiful. So if this is action, it is someone saying like, okay, I'm doing it this the right way, or I'm doing the right thing. To me, it doesn't feel malicious. To me, it feels like somebody who feels like they're doing the right thing. So again, you take that and fit it to whatever it is you're going through or whoever it is you're dealing with. Now, the lovers in the upright is very, very good for partnerships. And when I see judgment with the lovers, I saw this in the Capricorn reading this week as well. You might be doing a lot of analysis about like where certain people fit in your life and how you fit into the lives of others, right? Like not to say like, oh, I only get benefit from this person. No, nothing like that. But it's like, how does the energy work with this person? How does the energy work with that person? How do I fit into their life and their plans? How do they fit into mine? So, and again, it could be like friends, family members, anything really. There's a lot of looking at one's own circle and seeing how they fit, if that makes sense. So, a lot of stuff here on the front end. As far as action goes, I still see it, but it's like inspired action. So, in this time, you might be getting like little kicks in the pants from the universe where it's like, hey, do this, Virgo, do this. It's like, I don't want to call it risky just yet. It feels like inspired action. When I feel like doing something, I get a craving for food. All right, I go get it. I feel like doing this. Oh, I do go do it. It feels smooth and intuitive. We're going to keep moving. So we do have a lot of action right here on the front. We got a lot of spiritual protection. We'll talk about it more during the recap. But then we also have the analysis of how certain people fit in our lives and how we fit in theirs. Let's go in on the Queen of Swords. Why is that beautiful Queen of Swords here? Thank you. Oh, all right. This energy is not messing around. Okay, so we have the Fool in reverse. And the reason I say that, remember what I was saying about the Queen of Swords? She's like very serious, straightforward to the point, no BS, no nonsense. What you see is what you get. The thing with the Fool card, and I love the Fool card, it's an Aries power card, it's another action card. When I see it in reverse underneath the Queen of Swords, this could either one be somebody acting or moving with an abundance of caution. So again, for some of you, this might be spirit saying like, hey, Virgo, slow and steady, move with caution, very planned out. There's a lot of similarities this week between your reading and Capricorn's, a lot of similar threads. But the Fool is also very jokey and fun, and it's, you know, not, it's like playing around. It's very goofy sometimes. So when I see it in reverse underneath the Queen of Swords, it is either one, a serious situation, or two, this is someone that is in no games, no nonsense mode, where it's like, oh no, the time for fun and games is over. I'm not playing anymore. I'm not messing around anymore. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm going, and that's what it is. Like, it's very much a game over type of energy. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be going around ending this, ending that, ending this. Even if you're a cross watcher, don't get nervous about it. But the energy itself just seems very serious to me, where it's not playing, it's not messing around. It does feel like a game over type of energy. We're going to keep moving. Or someone that just has very low tolerance for things like that. So if normally you have somewhat of a tolerance for it, you might have less of a tolerance in this time. But we're going to keep going. We're going to see what the Four of Cups has. We're going to see what she has. Or again, it could just be moving with an abundance of caution. Like I said, we have the action, someone thinking they're doing the right thing. We're moving in a strategic, smart, planned out type of way. Let's see what the Four of Cups has. Maybe we'll get a good result here. That's what I'm hoping for. But why is the Four of Cups here for my beautiful Virgo friends? Okay. Logical again. So we have the Ace of Swords in the upright. Okay, cool. So now you know me, I always say aces represent offers, opportunities. They're also big when it comes to conversation. Ace of Swords is about honesty and truth. Very similar to the Queen of Swords. These are cut from a very similar mold, straightforward to the point, and that's why people call it the Sword of Truth. So like when I see it under the Four of Cups, which has the Ace of Cups in it, we have double aces, which to me represents offers, opportunities, talks, and conversations. So we line up what we have here, then we line all this up. To me, it feels like either a very important or serious talk or conversation or message showing up here, which again, clarity is important, right? Like with whatever it is you might be dealing with or whatever it is comes up, clarity is important. Clarity is king. Um, Ace of Swords, aside from that, yeah, could it be offers, opportunities coming in more than you even think? Absolutely. Remember, with the Ace of Cups, Three Cups here, we have the Ace of Swords. It's like once I knuckle down and get serious with something, that's where more doors open up for me. So, just like I've been saying about this, not messing around, not playing games, game over type of mindset, it's like once I get into that place, more doors open up for me. It's like the more serious I get about something, the more opportunity comes in, which I think is beautiful. So we have a lot of stuff here this week, Virgo, a lot of stuff, but I do feel like it's manageable. Tons of air energy this week, a lot of internal energy, but I feel like it's okay. I do. I feel like there's a lot of energetic and even spiritual support here. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box, position number one, we start off with two beautiful archangels, Gabriel and Raphael, right there. The communicator, the healer. If this is some sort of action, it's someone that feels like they're letting things flow, taking the right actions, doing the right things. This is huge for the spiritual protection and insulation. So for some Virgos, you got more than one looking out for you. This is really beautiful and it's protected. So I do like it. For some of you, you might be doing a lot of analysis of how you fit into certain people's lives or how they fit into yours. That's another thing. Moving into the center, we have the Queen of Swords with the Fool in reverse. Yeah, no games, no BS. And it's like the first indicator of a serious or an important talk of some kind. But that's just how it feels. The Queen of Swords is like knuckling down, where it's like no fluff, no frills. This is the direction I'm heading, and this is what it is. You might have a very low tolerance for BS or games of any kind when I see this. So it is a game over type of mindset, or I'm not playing around. Moving to the back end, we have the Four of Cups with the Ace of Swords in the upright. Once I do start knuckling down, more options open up for me. So could this be an offer opportunity? Absolutely. But we are still in this communication mindset. And it does feel firm and very straightforward. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got for Virgo in the shadows? Thank you. Cool. Two of Pentacles, that's another theme I've been seeing for a lot of earth signs. And the Two of Pentacles, I'll give you the good aspect of it. It's an energy that's coming into a place of balance. This is a card of fairness. It's a card of harmony. So it's someone that could potentially be doing a little bit of a balancing act. So I love the harmonious aspect of this card. It is also karmic with the infinity symbol. But the only downside to this card is like this person's juggling. Sometimes this could represent someone that has a little too much on their plate. So whether you have a little too much on your mind, a little too much on your plate, this energy can get overwhelmed. So I would say in this time, watch out for that. Any sort of mental, emotional overwhelm when this shows up in the shadows. But for the most part, this could be something coming into a state of balance, which I think is good. So Virgo, that's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My June calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the June subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice. The winners, which will be three, will have a choice between either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a lovely tarot deck, one of my all-time favorites, or you can choose a custom pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards in the deck, which one do you feel represents you and your energy best? You could even pick multiple if you'd like. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab /post tab. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.